I am making this video to prevent this from happening to anybody else. Hopefully people watch this and they protect themselves the way this woman is trying to help people protect themselves. She has a lot of very interesting videos that I ran across these videos, one in particular that scared the living crap out of me, and I think it's time for me to start sharing these with you guys. I saw for this one video, not this particular one, but I just came across this one actually today on her site, but ran across the other one before I even had a channel. And like I said, I'm shaking right now just because this whole thing just scares the crap out of me, because it is everywhere. This is in Maine, and this was on November 17th. I will post the link in my description so you guys can actually go and see what she has on her channel. I will be posting some more, but some of them are just really scary. I mean, this one's really scary. This one's very informative as well. This woman has been almost the victim of the S-face, you know what's. And they are so similar to the Idaho4. Idaho4 is just, it's crazy. As in like the camouflage and many other things. This one, I hope she doesn't mind. I don't think she will. I've actually left her a comment just recently, because I would like to, talk to her a little bit, because I'm just wondering if she knows about the Idaho4 case. So I'm going to play a little bit of this, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more. But I want you to see this part. I mean, this even right now, looking at this right now, this image that we've got on the screen, you've got one thing that stands out right away, and that's the word stalker. And they say that Kelley had a stalker. Now that could be true, it might not be true, but I in my mind's eye, why would she lie about something like that? And stalkers don't have to be seen by anybody. They can be just a feeling you have, because that feeling, that gut feeling, is real. And let me tell you, I know from experience, that is a real, absolute 1000% feeling. And when you have that feeling, you need to at least do something to protect yourself, because that feeling is just not something that's normal. So the second thing on here I see is like the wood deck and the snow and the footprints. And wait till you hear what she says about this. It is so interesting and so intelligent and so, observant and smart and actually kind of common sense, but you wouldn't necessarily think this right off the bat. But as soon as she said something like, "What do you see in here that's different?" Right? And I could tell the difference in the footprints. And I was getting to the point in my head, like working my way there when she said it, and I was like, "Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what I was thinking." But it was I took a different route than she did in my head. So I got there in a roundabout way, but it just took a little longer than what she probably deducted from it. So I'm gonna play this for a little bit now, and I woke up this morning, you guys, with, oh my god, with a really, really bad cough. I don't know if you can hear my voice, but I could not hardly even, I couldn't hardly even swallow. It was really weird, and I don't know why. I didn't feel sick like that yesterday, but I'm sure you can probably hear it in my voice. I'm trying to be kind of quiet a little bit because, well, for one thing, it hurts, and another thing is I don't want to stop getting a coughing attack again, and I feel like if I get too excited, you know, that kind of thing, that I'm going to be in for another coughing attack. So just bear with me. Hopefully you can hear me okay, and I'm going to play this for you right now.
A lady posted this on Facebook, November 17th, was a stalker coming around her house in Augusta, Maine. And the stalker went right up to her door, had no interest in the vehicles or stealing anything from the vehicles, knows that, you know, she's home, there's vehicles in the driveway, has most likely been watching or already casing her house, and is desperate because they're leaving tracks, and that's actually against the rules of most stalkers. They went right to her door, and what I noticed about this that I had a concern with, and although I may not be forensic, some of this stuff doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out. When this guy walked up onto her deck, you can tell his boots and his prints are going right down to the boards of the deck. And when he left, you can see that the prints are actually on top of the snow and they're not going down to the deck. So what that tells me is that there was enough time from the time that they came up onto the deck to the time that they left the deck that the snow had started to freeze. So that's not just walking up and then walking off. That's walking up and then that's staying there for a period of time and then leaving. So they came up over here, they winded up walking over to the right side, and then they came up to the door, and then you can tell that there's their prints that they're leaving. So they went right to the door.
So they not only went right to the door, but they stood there. You know, the heat from the body is going to, you know, have its own gravity and just go right down through those boots and just, you know, basically melting into the snow, into the ice on the deck. Hence the deeper the boots, you know, the clearly showing that it's a boot to board print. And so they stood there and they watched, or they listened, or whatever they did, but they stood there. How long was someone standing outside the King house? Was someone up on that deck? The more I think about this, the more I feel like someone was out on the back deck waiting for them. And since Kaylee wasn't in her room, allegedly, they could have come right through that sliding glass door that they could possibly have unlocked and prepared for entry prior to them getting home. It could be why someone said, someone's here. Or why Dylan allegedly thought Kaylee was playing with the dog upstairs. because someone was walking across her bedroom floor. And, you know, and opened the slider. Maybe she thought she went out and let Murphy out. Maybe he pees out there sometimes. I don't know. But that could be a possibility.
In this area, they have not been able to feed for a long time now, and their vases are getting full, and they're going to get desperate, and there's going to be scragglers that are going to be more desperate than others. And when I see this, this is a rule that stalkers usually don't break. This is not somebody looking for a dog. They didn't hear anybody knocking on the door, and they were there for a period of time. I mean, obviously, you'd be able to tell the dog wasn't on the porch and it was in the middle of the night. And they reported it to the police, but the police are not solving these cases. If something happens, they're just not solving these cases. Augusta, Maine, there were a couple women that have gone missing. And we do know that there's a group of stalkers in the area in Augusta, Maine.
On there, you're able to just keep twisting to the right. You still have to twist it kind of slightly, but you can just keep hitting it over and over again, and it automatically works.
That is scary easy.
So much.
Literally 3 seconds with a master key, they could be in your house. And these, I think, are almost available anywhere now.
So this reminds me of, you know, them saying that Xana had locks changed. Well, I still haven't figured out if the locks were changed or not, because there's so many different stories. I mean, there's keypad locks. There's the handles that you can just put your hand down and they open up if you just push them down. There's, you know, regular. I mean, there's so many different lock scenarios in this case that who knows what the truth is, because there appears to be so many. Whether you want to call them truths or lies, they're still there, and they're still flying around above our heads. And some have landed, some have not stuck, but they're still there. And I don't know, you know, there's things that, looking at this case, that very much stand out. The locks, the no footprints. When she said that in this video, my stomach just freaking flipped, and I got this rush up my body that is not a good kind of a rush. Because what she said, that meaning is that this person is seasoned. This person has done this before. And this person knows, or persons know, when not to leave footprints. Like she said, it is a thing among their community. And trust me, it is a community. They do know who each other. They do know who each other is, because they have, like, this is something that when mine did this to me, I delved into all sorts of different things. And one of the things I found in our particular area was so scary. Oh my God, it was so scary. There was a restaurant. They busted them, but there was a restaurant that this group of guys would go to, and it was a fun, like, kind of hip restaurant. It wasn't like a sports bar restaurant, but it was a kind of not a college, but just kind of a hip place to go. Like, they had fun martinis, and their glasses that you drank out of were super, super cool. They were hardened ice, if you can imagine that, like hardened ice martini glasses. So your drinks were super cold, and they just had a very light shell around them. So, I mean, you weren't holding directly onto the glass, but they were just pure ice glasses, and they were so cool. Man, the beer was so awesome there, because, you know, Irish Death is one of my favorites, and you want to drink that really cold. It was, oh gosh, it was so good in those glasses. And so anyway, so a lot of younger people went there. Well, these guys would sit at this table, and they knew who each other were through the internet, through whatever forum or whatever they clicked upon. Typically, these guys were going into dating sites, and they were making dates with women. And then once their date was done, if they got to first, second, third, or fourth base or whatever they did, they would post it to this forum, and they would rate the women. They would rate them amongst themselves. And then they would send other men, or it was like a shopping, kind of like, it reminds me of the grub truck in a way. You know, the shopping, like the visually seeing these women out there and then choosing which one you wanted to, you know, let's just say, stalk. So these guys they got busted because one of them got a little bit hammered in there one time, a little bit too buzzed, and how they were talking, it concerned the table that was next to them. And so they made a complaint, and then it happened again, and someone else made a complaint, and then the cops got involved, and they pretended to be, they were plain clothes, and they would come in. These guys kind of had a set time too, which was also very stupid on their part. It was good and much easier to catch them for the law, but on their part, it was very, very ignorant. And for them to be talking and sharing, like they were at the table sharing photographs, passing around their phone, just like they were doing around Grub Truck and in Banfield. Well, they all got busted, and they found out how they were doing it, like I explained to you. And I don't know if it was totally taken down. I'm sure there's many, many, many that got away. But it was huge. It was a lot of people, a lot of men, and they were. Some of them weren't violent at all. Other ones were very violent. So this, you know, it's got such similarities, you guys.
I went in, I posted these 2 comments for the lady that, you know, to take a look at these 2 items. Are fairly inexpensive to buy, but the stalkers, one thing I've learned is that the stalkers hate noise. They don't like the loud noise, and especially if something is going off before they can get close to you or close to your house. And these window and door alarms are really great to have. That's going to alarm and wake somebody before a stalker gets, or somebody is in your house. And these you can put out on the outside of your property, and those will alarm you. There's a base station to alarm you before somebody even gets close to your house. Cameras are great, and cameras are great for identifying, but they're not stopping criminals anymore. These that are loud, make loud noises, that's what stops. That's what stops criminals. That's what stops stalkers.
Okay, when she started talking about this and she started talking about the noise, my immediate thought was to what, like Tommy's referring to as these whisper boxes. So I wasn't getting quite what he was talking about at first, but I asked if it was the, the voice boxes they put when someone has someone has like throat cancer or whatever, so other things like maybe a crushed larynx or something like that from an accident, and their larynx is messed up and they can't speak very loud, and so they have those boxes they put on where they take the vibration and make it into a sound, but they're whispers. Like you barely have to whisper, and you get a sound, a word formed from it when you couldn't have done it before because you didn't have a voice. You can't really talk anymore. So what this kind of makes me wonder is, does this person actually have, or is this person actually using, is one or more of these people actually using it because it's necessary? Do they have issues with their voice? Have they had their larynx taken out or something, or issued, anything like that? Is there someone with some, medical issues and has to use these particular boxes? And so that the reason I thought about that was this noise. They don't like noise. Well, if you think about how quiet it was most of that night, it just takes you right there. The only thing about that area that was loud was the cars. And periodically, that hooping and hollering, like the one that happened, I think it was at 2:45, right before the guys got down to Banfield. I mean, it sounded like a pack of wild dogs and wild, like in the beginning, people were saying this was like the Lord of the Flies. That it reminded them of the movie of the Lord of the Flies. Which, yeah, a bunch of wild boys.
And these are relatively inexpensive. I posted this to
Sorry,
the lady,
that was my cat.
and she was really grateful that I did that. These millions of these have sold on Amazon. And then there was a guy that got on the Facebook page, and he was heckling me for posting these to the lady. And so you always know the bad guys because they hate these alarms. He was heckling me like there was something wrong to buy these alarms. These are sold by the millions.
So that, what she says right there, where that takes me is to comment sections. The comments that come in that are heckling or demeaning or belittling you for, what you're saying or the information you're putting out that is concerning to you. A thought process that you might be going, or I might be going through to bring me to where I, to either, quash whatever that idea was or thought process or whatever route, or to keep looking at it because it resonated somewhere. The people that come in your comment section and they say these things and are, nasty, basically, those are the people that concern me. And there's one in particular that does this a lot. And this one has a lot of different usernames. And it is, I don't believe it's a man, I think it's a woman. Now, if you guys think that a woman couldn't do something like this, you are so sadly mistaken. Because they are out there, and they are just as volatile, maybe even more so than a male. So please watch out for each other in the comment sections, the subs, the people that, that are there that really care. Because I know there's a lot of them. I know, and I so appreciate you all. I do. There are those ones also that have been up in your comment section that for months have left very considerate, nice, communicated back and forth with, other, people in your comment section. And sometimes those people turn out to be the people that you need to watch out for. Because what they're doing is they are grooming you. And they're grooming the rest of the people that are up in the comment section as well. And it could be that this groomer has their own little posse, let's say, up in the comment sections. And once this starts happening, as it has recently started happening to me, where I never had necessarily trolls, what we're going to call them or whatever, in the comment section, it's becoming more prevalent now. Now, whether this is because I'm getting closer, or there's something maybe that I touched on that they didn't want, that is bothering them, or maybe it's just that I just am not giving up. That could be one. Maybe it's because I keep, slowly but surely gaining subscribers, which is the way to do it. Like, I'm very leery about people that like their channels, like boom, 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 boom. They just fly up into the numbers. And I'm grateful for all of you. I'm so thankful that mine has just kind of gradually gone up, and that's the way it should. That's how it should be, because when you number, it doesn't work that like that. You just don't get subs like that, right? These are word of mouth. These are share. This is sharing. This is clicking the like button so it gets out into the algorithm. This is commenting, and this is being consistent. And there's the good part of that, and there's also the ones who hide under that same cloak of goodness. They use it for dark reasons. And now, unfortunately, I do have this up in my comments. So I appreciate all of you I've seen in my comment section. People are typing in their troll in the comment section, or troll in the house, or things like that. Thank you. Thank you very much. I still have not gotten to my emails, and I feel like a total, I was going to say dick, but that wouldn't be a very good thing to say right now. Just a total heel right now, not getting to those. I don't know. I think when I got into my emails the last time, there were so many of them that I think it just overwhelmed me so much. And I don't want you guys to stop. I mean, and there were so many, all of them, they were great. But my thing is, when I comment back, and maybe this is something I can tell you guys right now, because in order for me to get to these comments, I'm going to have to keep them at a bare minimal in order to get through them, because I have so many. And I haven't even looked, you guys. I've got this thing. Sometimes I get it where it's like out of sight, out of mind. If you don't look, it won't get worse or whatever. And not that it's worse. I'm not saying that, but just, I think you guys know what I mean. Anyway, it's overwhelming in a good way and also a bad way, because I get stagnant. I basically kind of freeze in that section, in that area. So here's my thing to you guys. I'm going to dive into those things, right? But I want you to know that I'm one of those people who loves to leave lengthy replies, as you guys have already seen, and I've had to basically stop doing that, unless it's something that I really feel like someone needs to really talk about, and there's so much of that. There's so much of that too, and everybody's important. Everybody is important, and whether it's you're in there coming, thank you so much, we appreciate you, or it's a lengthy one talking about something that maybe I already know, but it's something that maybe was a good refresher for me. I tend to want to leave long comments, and I'm going to have to stop doing that, you guys. And it sucks, but I'm going to have to, because I can't get to all of it. So please, please know that when I'm clicking like and love and all that good stuff on your stuff, and when I'm commenting, I'm doing the best I can with the time I've got. And you guys, this is really quite wild, because I am not doing anything else at this point, really, except for researching and working on this. And I still need a good 2 more people, and I'm just doing this by myself. I mean, I have people I talk to, and I'll go on a chat here and there and talk and stuff like that, but I don't have a team. I don't have people who answer my emails or go and do research for me or anything like that. I mean, I bounce ideas off people, yeah, but I don't have a team that goes out and just or, I say, okay, can you go through these, go through my comments and see what you find in there. I don't have any like that. This is just me. Although I do have some friends, which is kind of cool, that just love to read comments and stuff. They always have. And so they'll go in and they'll, be just reading certain comments and they'll alert me to certain things. But it's not, it's not something that happens all the time. I mean, it's, I don't know, maybe once, not even once a week, that they'll mention, hey, I just saw this comment. Did you see this comment someone made? That kind of thing. So anyway, bear with me. I am truly doing my best. And please, please just, if I answer the email and it's short but sweet, please know I would have wanted to leave a very extensive one, but I can't. I don't have time. And you know what, you guys, my fingers get sore from typing. Oh my God. And then I'll start doing the talk into the text, and then I'll have to go, fix that, because talking to text just sometimes works really well and sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of a toss up. But I also want to thank all of you just for all of the support, and those that have been sent me things. Thank you so much. I mean, that you guys don't even have a clue how much that helps me. I mean, it helps me so much, and I appreciate anything. It's like anything. So when I was bartending, this is interesting, because when I was bartending, one time, and several times people did this, but this one particular time, this person left like 2 quarters like in the tip jar, and they were very apologetic because they had been there all night, and they, I always gave good service no matter what, even if I knew that they wouldn't have the money at the end of the night. It didn't matter. That's not what I was there for. I was there to, have customer service, to serve them. That was my job, and I loved my job, and I did it well. And I still think about that. I still love it. And anyway, they put a couple quarters in the tip jar, and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I wish I could give you more. And I'm like, hey, I said, no, that's great. I said, you do not have a clue how fast quarters add up. And that was exactly what I used for like my vacation fund. Like I would save all my quarters. Yeah, probably why quarters are extinct now, or like coins are extinct. That's probably my fault. No, just kidding. But it is kind of weird that coin is, there for a while, they weren't, nobody had any coins. That was so weird. Do you guys remember that? It was not too long ago, maybe a year ago. So anyway, it all adds up, and all of it is appreciated, no matter how much or what it is. And like I said, the support, the being there to watch my back, that kind of thing, because I noticed you guys do that, and that's so cool. It's so cool. Makes me feel really good. So thank you. Okay, I'm gonna get back to this video.
Because they will use social media and shoot down shoot down anything like this. The other thing I noticed on this is that it happened on November 17th, so I went and looked because I kind of like, well, geez, and it was before new moon, which is consistent with what I was seeing, is that they always came when it was darkest and weathering, and that was always either before new moon or before full moon. And here's a new moon on the 23rd, and here's a new moon. It is when it's darkest. So the cops and the police are not solving these cases. It's up to you to educate yourself and your family. And if it's one thing I would suggest, if you know anyone in your family, any women in your family, is for Christmas, buy them some of these. Pick some of this stuff up for them, especially in this day and age with what's going on out there. This is in Augusta, Maine. A couple women have gone missing here, and they're not solving these cases. This is a stalker who's going right to her door. They know that people are home. They were there for a little while. You can see when he walked up, you can see the bear.
So right here I want to address a couple different things. First of all, she mentions that there was cars in the driveway, and they knew people were there. And they didn't come to break into the car or hurt their animal, although it has happened. When they couldn't get to a person, they'll take it out on animals. But the darkness, so that's they do it in the cloak of under the moon, the veil of the moon, the cloak of darkness. There's so many different terms for it that they use, but it was very dark that night. And not only was it dark, but there was lights, allegedly, from what I'm understanding, that were removed, that were normally there. And that's why that Jeff H's difference mode is so important, because, and like I said, any of you, if you have got this this program on your computer, please if you are willing to make a video and then like upload it to YouTube and then send me a link on it, or I don't, there's some, if you're savvy with that kind of thing and you know how to use CapCut and all that stuff, you could do that. I don't have the means other than getting it through like a YouTube type thing link. So that's my situation at this point. But I have always wanted a difference mode done on Banfield. And you know what? Even a difference mode done on the grub truck would be great, because we would be able to see people that were there lingering that maybe have been, erased out of it, like scrubbed out of the video. Dang well they're there. If they're in the other places, they are definitely there. And we'll be able to see movement where we wouldn't necessarily see it either. So the difference mode, what it does, and maybe I will, I'll tell you what, in this video at the end, I will put the first part of his video from his 1 a.m. to 5 p.m. difference mode video of Linda Lane. I will put his first little clip he has in there that shows how difference mode works. And that way you guys can see how it's done and see if you guys have the program for it. It's just like an Adobe type thing on your computer. And I don't know if it's my cat right now is got one of her fuzzy mice. And she goes through them, let me tell you. But right now she's got it. Oh, she just pulled the eyeball off of it. It's felt. You're not eating that, are you? Yeah, she's eating it. Well, it'll come out the backside. She must need her fiber. She just ate it and swallowed it. Was that good? She's looking at me like, what are you looking at? She was an eyeball. You monster. You just left it. She's coming up to say hi. So anyway, if indeed you guys can do this, please write it put it in this comment section and let me know, because oh my gosh, that would be so helpful. Why Jeff won't do it, I don't know. I've asked him months and months, time after time again, if he would do that, and he claims he can't do it with that, which I don't know why he can't do it with that. It doesn't make any sense to me, because I'm telling you what, difference mode on Banfield is going to blow all of our minds, and I mean blow our minds, because the amount of times I've watched that, just like with the grub truck and Linda Lane, there's things in there that nobody sees until you've watched it so many times that your eye just catches these things, and you don't even see what the people are doing anymore. You see all the background stuff and all the things that are going on, in the rest of the scene out there, because there's a lot. There's just as much going on there as there is in Linda Lane, put it that way, maybe even more, because they were having to, I think, clean up areas at that point, because something had happened prior to the cops even being there, or to them being there and showing us the body cam. They may have been there, they may not have. In my opinion, I think they probably were, but that's just my opinion, pure speculation. I don't know anything other than what I see, and what I see is been erased, and so there you have it. I'm looking at ghosts, right? But yeah, so I will put the put that in the back side of this. Okay, I'm gonna continue the rest of this. I don't know how far.
And on his way out, you can't, because the snow is working now on top. The snow is more solid now because it's starting to freeze. So he was there for a time period. So I saw this and I was like, this is a little concerning. And the cops are not going to tell you about how to protect yourselves. And unfortunately, they're just not solving these crimes.
The cops, obviously, from what we've seen, are not only going to help you protect yourself, but they're going to tell you that there is no threat in the area. What in the world, you guys? In my opinion, they know who did this. And they told the community after what, 2 hours? After putting a lockdown, stay locked in place or whatever, they lifted it within 2 hours? You guys, the coroner wasn't even there yet before they lifted that. So that tells me they either know who did it and that it was targeted to a certain, to the point that they knew that they wouldn't strike again immediately, or they weren't looking for your just normal homeowner or out there, that there was certain people that they were looking for, and that maybe they have satisfied their ugly addiction at that point. I don't know, but there's so much that is wrong with how that went down. I mean, I could do 50 videos just on that, and I'm not joking. I mean, I am so not joking. I mean, look at this video. I'm only doing this lady. I don't think this was maybe 7-8 minute long video, and I'm almost I'm close to an hour. Almost 45 minutes, getting there. And this is just touching base on just stuff that we already know, but maybe we need to be refreshed on. And maybe stuff we didn't know, like what this woman has to offer. I'm going to warn you, her videos are frightening. But it is necessary sometimes to watch these things in order to educate yourself what is really out in that world that we don't want to see. I know none of us want to see that, right? And sometimes even the people that see it and they take the measures to protect themselves, sometimes that doesn't even help. But most of the time, I bet you it does. So if you go into her channel and are watching her things, please like her stuff and please sub to her. I don't know how long she's been doing this, but I do know that like I said, I watched her stuff, and how I came across it was I don't even know, it came up in my thread. Oh, okay, I think I know how it happened. Okay, so I found something, one of the videos in a photograph one of the girls posted. I think it was a black and white photograph. And I'll actually find that picture and I'll link it in here. It scared the crap out of me, and I have not spoken very much about it because it does scare me that much. So that's how her stuff popped up in my thread. And it's a video of her surveillance capturing the kind of stuff that went down on Linda Lane, the camouflage, the cloaked, the invisible, that kind of stuff.
So in Adobe Premiere Pro, there's a cool thing called blend mode. You can find this also in Photoshop and also After Effects. The blend mode I'm going to show you here is called difference mode. here's how it works. If you take a still picture of a scene and then combine it with the moving picture of the scene, and you put the still picture set to difference mode, when you overlay them, anything that's moving or different between the two images is clearly visible, as you can see. Here's another example using a parking garage. You can see that when combined in difference mode, the only thing you see is the moving cars. I thought it would be interesting to apply this blend mode to the Linda Lane footage, making it a little easier to see the moment anything moves in the frame. Here we go.
One thing I want to add about his first part in here about there not being any movement at that until then, that is, there is movement. You can see. So okay, here's what I want. This is what you need to do if you're going to be watching this like this. First of all, no matter what, with Linda Lane, not necessarily with Banfield, although I mean it would blow your ears out because the other ones are, you know, their voices are too close. But still, you'd see the movement in Banfield. But you need, for Linda Lane, you definitely need earbuds. You have to have them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No ifs, ands, or buds about it. Because you won't be able to hear what we're hearing until you get in your earbuds. And different earbuds pick up different sounds in that Linda Lane. I have 3 different ones. And they all pick up something different. It's really weird. And I don't know why. I mean, just maybe they're, you know, like configured differently or something like that. I don't know. But you have to have earbuds. And in difference mode, like right now, as we're looking at this screen, you can't see anything. But if I was to turn out my lights and be in a pitch black room and let my eyes get used to this, to what I'm seeing on the screen, I would see the lit up spots in this frame. So I'm going to turn my light out right now. See if I can see it. It's not too dark in here yet right now, but it's dark enough. Okay. So for instance, here's one thing I see right away as soon as I turn the lights off, and this is an important one that I've brought up a couple times, but not many people know about. Actually, I'm seeing another one also at this time. Now I'm seeing another one. Okay, hold on a second. Okay. So the first one that I saw was in the very middle of your screen, at the very top, like as far up at the top of the screen as you can get. There is a small little dot of light. Now that dot of light, when that fight is going on that you hear, that's so, you know, where you hear the name Pete and all that stuff, if you zoom your screen out as far as you can get it, up to that little white dot up there, and you take a magnifying glass, or what I used was a jeweler's loop. I had been sick with something, I don't remember what it was, but I was in bed for a couple days. And anyway, I was like, man, I want to get up, I want to do something. And I had been making jewelry, so I had the loop next to my bed. And so I just picked up that jeweler's loop, and I looked in it, and I was like, holy crap. That's where the fight went down. You could see that in that light up there, you can see all reflections. It's almost like it's a spotlight of sorts, and like they're fighting in front of it, like there's movement in front of it. You see people going back and forth, and you see bodies, like you see figures of people, and that right there is right first and foremost at the very top of your screen in the middle, just a little white dot, and that little white dot has some big images in it. And when you zoom into that little white dot and you start seeing those images, the things being said become even clearer because you can see the movement of what's going on as those words and screams and such are being heard through your earbuds. And so it connects the two together. Just hearing it is hard to kind of put it, fathom like exactly what's going on, to put it in perspective. But when you're seeing it happen and it's matching up with the oof and the punches and the whatever's in the girl running by or whatnot, it makes it easier to see what's going on. Now, with that said, I do believe they put stuff in Lindow Lane. They've taken stuff out. They've done the same thing with Banfield, but not enough. They didn't do it enough. Not for my eyes, and not for other creators out there who have been on this since day one and are relentless to find something, that is going to help solve this case or get it somewhere. My thing is, you guys, at this point, if we do narrow it down to who we think it is and how it happened and all this stuff and why, I don't think Idaho, I don't think they'll do anything about it. I don't think this case will ever be. I don't think anybody will be charged for this. Anyone that actually did this with that said, they've taken this guy and they've got this guy in jail. He's been there forever, right? And nothing matches up with this guy to this case. I mean, we have so many other people in that area that are 1,000 times more suspicious just from what we viewed, but they don't care. And that's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate that lives don't matter to them. That's how it makes me feel, that lives don't matter to them, that they're disposable. And we've seen that as well. So I'm going to play this a little bit more and let your eyes, as we're doing this, you'll see exactly what I mean. But then I'm going to have to cut this short because it's almost at an hour. So I'll play this out for a little while. See that light in the middle of the screen get brighter all of a sudden? So one thing I want to say about that, so where this camera is located, it's looking directly out through their parking lot. The next one is the Queen Road parking lot, the Queen apartment parking lot, and then the next little thing is that the smaller Queen building, and then right after that smaller Queen building is a house on Taylor Avenue. Taylor Avenue, you have the street after that, and then there's the Banfield. So there's a direct line of sound that's going to be coming up in this tunnel-like area, just like the Queen side in between those two apartments. They call them the Twinkies, I do. It's like a tunnel. And so the sound's going to travel through there and then just blah at the end of it, right? Same with the Taylor Avenue one. You've got Lindow Lane off to your far right, the other Lindow Lane. So this is Lindow Lane Apartments, but you've got the actual lane that's off to your right that you enter from Taylor Avenue, and it's a dead end. So you pull in there, and when you pull up and you would drive past to get to where we're looking at right here, you'd have to pull in there and then turn around and then pull back out because it's a dead end. You can't get to Queen from there. You can on foot, but you can't with a vehicle. You can with a motorcycle and probably an ATV, but you cannot with a car. So you're looking directly out, and you've got the apartments on your right side. So let's say the back side of those apartments, and then on the left side, you've got Queen apartments in the parking lot and such. There's a little pathway behind the apartments on the Lindow Lane side where the dumpster is, and then to the Banfield and Taylor Avenue. Same with the Queen. So you've got a walkway through there. And if you keep an eye on this, like in difference mode, at certain parts where there's a lot of stuff going on, you can see people are stationed at certain points on that pathway up from Taylor Avenue. You can see them. They have lights. They probably have like those glow sticks in their mouth so that you, like if they close their mouth, you won't be able to see them. But in order to alert somebody that they're there and that they're stationed in the proper place where they were, you know, rallied to do so, is what I think, Sonny, no. They will open their mouths and you will become aware that they're there. But to others, like if they don't know this, like I think people were jumping out at the girls and Ethan and you know, with the, hence the boos and that kind of thing, boo, you know, when they're doing that. But they were doing it to, you know, discombobble them, just like totally, you know, just make their heads not even know what's going on, especially if they've been out drinking that night, you know, or if they've even slipped something into their drinks, which I think definitely Maddie was, and I think Kaylee was about to get something that she did not know was going to be happening to her, ingestion wise. So right now, as I'm still sitting here looking at this video in the frame, that light in the middle of your screen at the very, very top is brighter even now because my eyes are getting accustomed to looking at this darkness and seeing what's coming out. And you, all the way up to the left-hand side, you can see where there's a queen, where that window on the Queen Apartments up there, which is definitely, in my opinion, whoever lived there is involved somehow. They knew what was going on. There's so much that deals with that apartment, and possibly the one on the first floor that's below eye level, like we cannot see, but we can see like a light movement down there. So there's that. But right now, these sounds that we're hearing could very well be cars on Linda Lane. Like, go and watch this when the cops are down there on Banfield and they're doing, you know, they got the guys pulled over and they're go and check out that white light up there. Zoom in as far as you can go. Get a magnifying glass. Get something you can see that makes it bigger, jeweler's loop or whatever, and take a look at what I'm telling you in there. You'll see what I'm talking about. You just need to get prepared because you need to get your light. You need to be in a pitch black room, and you need it quiet. You need quiet, and you need earbuds. Okay? You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I think about you guys every day. Just like I do this case, I think about you guys as well. I hope you are staying safe, and I hope you are being kind to each other and loving, and this case can really get to you. So don't forget that there's an outside. You need to go outside. You need to get some fresh air. And you need to do something other than have your head in this case. Because that can happen, you know. So with that said, I'm going to get this video up. And I'm going to go outside and get some fresh air. Okay, love you guys. Thanks. I'm going to play a little bit more of this. And then I'm just going to let it go out. Do you see that light up there? What's going on right now is happening, I believe, on Banfield. Okay, so off to the left, you just saw a light over there come on. It's getting brighter and brighter. Underneath that little ticker stamp, time stamp thing. This, my friends, is difference mode. Thank you, Jeff H, for doing this. People who are listening to this, please let me know. Oh, see, there we go. See, we got the lights for the SUVs right there. Do you see that? We either have someone moving or someone opened up the car to the SUV, a car door. Or there's a light that's shown across the top of it somewhere. She says, I'm scared. So I don't know if you saw that. Someone just walked by that light at the very top. Someone walked past it because it blurred for a minute. It dimmed. I'm gonna give you guys a whole new thing to look at now, right? Is that a police radio? Okay, you guys. Bye. See you later. Thank you.